أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نويت أبرن زوز حسبنا الله. We're asking inshallah support from our Shaykh to say some words for the sake of this holy night, for the sake of this new month, whatever that is useful for us to take, whatever that is for us, for him to send inshallah. We've entered into this holy month of Zul Hijja. This is a month that it is, even before Prophet ﷺ came physically into this world, it is one of the forbidden months, and it's a month where fighting, physical fighting, and amongst other things, it is made forbidden. This has many meanings into it, deep meanings. Hatred and conflict from the outside, to tell people whatever you're fighting about to stop. Does that mean the one who is in the way of haqq, they are going to stop? No, they're not. The one who is in the way of haqq, the one who is fighting, struggling for the sake of Allah, especially the bigger struggle, that time he struggles. Every day, every month, every week. Does it ever stop? No. Does it stop because it is Eid? No. Does it stop because it's his birthday? No. It always continues. So in the fight against the batil, the fight against our ego, in that fight, in that holy struggle, that never stops. That's necessary for us to know. And in these 10 days that we're entering, there are many things that we can do to keep ourselves clean, to collect the blessings that Allah is sending in these holy days. That is going to keep us strong, that is going to keep us and to clean us, especially as we are about to finish this year, as we're entering into the new year of Islam in Muharram, which is not too many days after that. And especially in these days of Akhir Zaman and understanding what is happening in this Akhir Zaman around the world. So the believer is not going to take these days for nothing. With the blessings of our Shaykh, we are feeling today, for those of us, those of you who are keeping these days holy and trying to keep some fasts, as it is said to fast one day in this first 10 days, it is the reward is as if you're fasting for the whole year. So imagine the rahmat that is coming there. And fasting, it is nothing but is a struggle. It's a sacrifice, it is a qurban, and it is a struggle against your nafs. And you're feeling as if for some reason Ramadan is visiting us again. You don't get this feeling every time. So there's a special blessing that is coming for us these times, these years. Believers should run to catch it. To keep your fast, to keep your struggle, to keep your zikr, to keep your 5 senses to be clean from malayani and from wrong things, to keep your heart to be clean, to be free from useless malayani things, and to keep, above all, the struggle every day alive. If you are struggling against your ego, know that you're fighting the good fight. If you're not struggling anymore, fix it. This world, these times, is filled with struggle and with hardship. If you are given the responsibility to help others as part of that struggle, it is an honor for us, for believers, to help and to serve. We're entering into the holy days of Hajj. Thousands preparing, thousands are already there. But Allahu Alam, whose Hajj is going to be accepted or not. In the old days, the Hajj did not begin in the first 10 days. The Hajj did not begin 1 week before or 1 month before. In the old days, not too long ago, the Hajj would take months. The journey itself is part of that Hajj. The Hajj is not the journey. The Hajj is the culmination. It is the climax. It is the journey. So people would take months when they go by sea or they go by land. They would take months. And in that months of reaching to Baytullah, to the Holy Lands, transformation happens to them. They're walking on that journey. Transformation happens to them. It takes time for you to leave all your world behind, all the wrong thoughts behind, because you're on the path. It's not going to happen just like that. Today's Akhir Zaman. We take a plane here in 6 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours at most, boom, you leave. You landed there. There is no real change, no transition. Not enough time in that journey to prepare yourself for the Hajj. It is not as if today's people, they take months to prepare themselves before they get on that plane. They don't. Because they are treating the Hajj and the Umrah, as the Prophet ﷺ had said in the Hadith Sharif, the rich. They're going to treat the Hajj like it is a vacation, tour, a trip. The privileged are going to do that. Others going to take the Hajj or the Umrah to be for business. So, we are not there physically, but all believers must prepare themselves every year as if they are going to go on that Umrah, to go to that Hajj. When you're doing that, then you are getting the blessings. Because physically we may not be there, but spiritually, when you're making the intention to be there, inshallah Rahman, it will be accepted. The reason why you are going is another thing. It is a fulfillment, yes, of our obligations in this religion. But more than that, for something that is personal, it is about the whole ummah. That the ummah now is gathering, and all ummah now, one time a year, but at the same time, those who are able to coming and saying to Allah, Labaik Allah. Saying to the Prophet, Labaik, Ya Rasulullah. And coming together and understanding that this is the moment that really matters. Because the Hajj, it is a rehearsal for Judgment Day. That we are going to gather ourselves in that field of Mashhar, and we're going to wear the ihram, we're going to wear a shroud. And we're there leaving everything behind and answering to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bringing with us our books. So one big part of it is Judgment Day. To treat the Hajj like it is Judgment Day. To prepare the Hajj like we're preparing for Judgment Day. In the old days, people were doing that. When they're going to the Hajj, they're preparing for death. They're preparing to go and not coming back. To make the intention to go there and to die there and to be buried there. Our Shaykh had taught us, man reaches the age of maturity at the age of 40. He reaches maturity. He becomes a man at the age of 40. Prophethood was given to the prophets, with some exceptions, at the age of 40. Shaykh Effendi gave so many sohbats, saying physical maturity, emotional maturity, what age it is. But the boy becomes a man at the age of 16. There's obligation for him now to do everything as a man is doing in Islam. But he is still cooking. is still forming. In the teen years, what a big confusion it is. In the 20s, they are saying these days, up to the age of 25 years old, the human being, the man or the woman, it's still forming. The brain is still forming. Everything is still forming. It's not complete yet. So 20s, oh, what age of big confusion again it is. At the age of 30s now, you're starting to find your way. You're discovering by the time you reach 30 years old, oh, everyone is saying by the time they reach 30 years old, I'm not young anymore. They wake up a little bit. Now the age of 40 years old. And Shaykh Effendi said that the man is not changing or not wishing to change so much till he reaches the age of 40, then it is going to be very difficult for him. And this is based on the teachings of our Prophet ﷺ, the teachings of Mashaykh. They're opening it up. Why does someone seek a guide and holding on to that guide? So that his path in this world and his path in the grave and the hereafter is going to be wide and is going to be according to the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ. He's going to be in that caravan. That is the reason. To be behind them and to be able to return to Allah, to return to Mawla properly. To be in the path, in the sirat, that is the most favored by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Regardless of your capability in that caravan, whether you are in front, you are behind, you are in the side, you are top or you are bottom. This is why we are searching and we are holding on to our Shaykh. Now a person may say, well, I come into tariqat beyond the age of 40 years old. Is there any hope for me? Of course there is always hope. I'm coming before the age of 40, but I only have a few years. I don't think I can make it. Is there any hope? Of course there is always hope. Because once you are in that caravan, our leader is the one who is most favored by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can there be despair? But the fight still continues. What are we hoping for now, being in that caravan, following? Are we hoping for in this world to achieve perfection? Are we hoping for in this world to achieve fana with our Shaykh? Are we hoping in this world to become salih, to become awliya? These are certain questions you need to ask as people in this way. Then what is our aim? If our aim now, so many sohbats, Shaykh Effendi is saying for years, decades, Shaykh Maulana is saying for decades, and we are saying, if the aim now, it is to be a servant, maybe the servant is ugly. Maybe the servant is broken. Maybe the servant is weak and is dirty, but that servant is sincere every day and he wants to serve. Not only wanting to, he is serving. You understand? Here in the West especially, they say, as long as you want, oh, your intention is good, it's okay. I didn't mean it. You don't mean it, it's okay. It's not that. Islam, yes, intention is important. The action is also important. If the action is not important, then there is no obligations to the faith. Just believe. Believe like Christians do. I believe in Allah, believe in the angels, believe in the books. Just believe. Don't do anything. If they say what you're doing is not so important, then why is it so important in Shariat, whether we do or we don't do? Obligations that are there. Are we obligated to do it? And if we are able to do it and we don't do it, are there not consequences and repercussions? Yes, there are. So we want to be servants in this way. Then ask yourself. Because some, maybe they come in this way, they say, I want to be saints. After a while, they say, I'm not getting it. They leave. Some, they say, maybe I want to come in this way so that I can just relax and be in a Muslim community. Relax. You understand? And be in a Muslim community. After a while, they will leave too. Because there's no relaxation. There's so many things to do. We don't relax. There are those who are saying, I want to be here because I want to help as much as I can. And I'm going to watch myself every day. Am I helping? Am I serving? If I'm not doing it 1, 2, 3 days, once a week, I must do it. There has to be a shariat within this tariqat that I'm saying. Didn't Shaykh Maulana say? Even a murid who visits a dargah. 3 days, a visitor that comes, yes? Don't tell them to do anything, they're free. After the 4th day, there has to be something. There has to be a certain criterion that is there. At the very least, he's saying murids that are in the dargah. Murids, 2 hours every day you have to spend for the service of the dargah. Yes or no? If you don't know, hear from me right now, I'm saying it. So now it is about service. Now service is not according to how good you are, how clean you are, how much knowledge you have. There are some who have that and they don't serve. There are some who don't have that. They don't have knowledge. They feel very dirty. They do a lot of wrong things. But they understand that and they're running to serve. About us, whether we are going to be ready to meet the Prophet ﷺ, whether we're going to be ready and clean enough to meet the angel of death. By ourselves, never we're going to be ready. By ourselves, we're not going to be ready. But with the himmat and with the support of our Shaykh, despite our weakness, inshallah Rahman, we will be ready. But that is not just saying, I'm going to connect myself to the Shaykh. There's a criterion that is there. And how many more sohbats are we going to hear about how important service is? At the same time, we are not making it obligation for anyone to do anything. There is no obligation here. There is no consequence if you don't do it. There isn't. Legally or anywhere, there isn't. If there are, you see people who have come and gone, or people who have walked away, or people, you'll see them, the consequences that are there, that's happening to them right away. Is there not a rope that ties them to the hands of our Shaykh? Yes. Will there be consequence? There will always be. There will always be. But here, it is not something that we're putting to say, if you don't do this, is what's going to happen to you. You are free. But it's going to catch up on you one day, you and me. So again, it is up to you. You do it, it's for your own good. You don't do it, you're going to be the one who's going to bear it. Do you understand? Now you're talking about your baggage and everything. Are you struggling every day with it? Struggling. Not struggle, oh, I don't feel good. No, struggle is in do the right thing. Not struggle in an American way. Oh, I'm thinking about it. Am I good? Am I bad? Am I good? Am I bad? Am I accepting? Am I not accepting? No, that's not struggle. It's still playing. That's not struggling. You're still thinking whether you should or you shouldn't be in this place. You should or you shouldn't be in the understanding. You understand? We are already here. We are already here. So many of you are here for so many years now. Now the struggle shouldn't just be about you, whether you can accept or not accept. You're already here. Now the struggle has to be with you in the service that you are doing, and more transforming your character according to the character of the Holy Prophet ﷺ through the teachings of our Shaykh. That. And when you struggle with that, inshallah Rahman, as long as you don't let go. It's impossible for us, maybe. Do you think it's impossible for them to change us? Is it? It's not. It's not impossible. It's very easy for them to change. But they want to see us fighting. They want to see us at least take that one step. So, you have baggage. Everyone has baggage. Everyone has. But are you trying to every day work it out? Every week work it out? And are you trying to help beyond that? All this struggle and everything is still very selfish. It's still you. It's still me dealing with my own. You understand? Demons, yeah. Okay, good, Yani. But you can do both. You can do this and help your family and help other people, yes? But we're so spoiled now. We think, no, I need time alone. I need to do this by myself and I can't. No, that's very spoiled. That's not Islamic. You can do both. You can do many things. We're supposed to do many things. Yes, you're struggling, okay. But someone still has to go to work. Someone still has to put food on the table. You still have to pray. You still have to help your family. You still have to help the Jamaat. Correct? So we have that luxury to think that way. Just because we're dealing with something, everything else has to shut down and world has to stop for us until we get our act together. We have that luxury because we're living in this land in these times. And that's not the right attitude. So the man is going to say, despite my own dirtiness, my weakness, things that I cannot do, these things still needs to do. I have to do it. And I will still do it. So I will struggle with that. I will still serve. I will still smile. I will still work. I will still worship. I will still make zikr. Because all these things that I'm struggling with, even if it feels impossible for me to do it, but I'm still struggling, it's very easy for them to change it. And I'm holding on to that faith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, it's not going to change the fate of a people until they want to change it themselves. Individually, you must know where you want to be, where your strengths and weaknesses are, what you can do and what you cannot do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see our servanthood and our weakness, to say to him, Ya Rabbi, I cannot do this. If you don't help me, I cannot do this. Help me. Individually, that is very necessary, because it's individual that makes a society, that makes the ummah. And individually, these things are not taught. Individually, this is spirituality. Individually, spirituality is not taught. If it is, every masjid in the world is going to put that more important. Spirituality, understanding yourself, as important as reading the Quran, as important as learning the do's and the don'ts of religion. It is not. So individually you don't have it. Collectively as a society, then will you be able to understand your strength and weakness? You don't. Then as an ummah, you don't. So from individual to the ummah, you don't understand then yourself. You're ignorant about yourself. You don't understand what you need to change. Thousands may go now to the holiest places in the best times of the year, best times of the month, that Allah is guaranteeing you open your hands, I will answer your call, I will answer your prayers. But they may not know what to ask. They will not know what to ask. Even of all saying, send help, they're not going to send help. They will say, send help. Maybe so many are going to say, defeat our enemies. Make them to come down. Destroy them. How? Allah has a protocol. How? One lightning bolt from the sky is going to come and to destroy the enemies. Whenever there is a biggest enemy in this world that is represented by a man, the greatest enemy to Allah and His prophets, Allah always sends a prophet to be his arch nemesis. Yes? In the time of Musa alayhi salam, it was Firaun. Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was Nimrud. In the time of the Prophet alayhi salam, it was Abu Jahil, Lahab. In the time of Mahdi alayhi salam, it is Dajjal. So if you don't know your enemy, how can you know yourself? And what are we asking for? No. You're just asking for the enemy to fall, but you don't know who, you don't know what to ask, and you're forbidden to even ask for that one. How many places in this world right now you can say we're asking Ya Rabbi, send Mahdi alayhi salam to come? How many places in this world now where you can make that dua openly? Not too many places. And I understand, maybe the government say Mahdi alayhi salam is going to be used by wrong groups. Then you use Mahdi alayhi salam's name. You use it, you say, we're afraid Salafi is going to take it. Then you use his name. You're afraid Wahhabi is going to take it. Then you use his name, the governments. You're afraid that the wrong kind Muslim, they're going to use it. Then don't let them use it, you use it. You have all this power, you have all these ministries, you have all these alims and ulamas. Why don't you use it? Once in a while, maybe. You don't. Because you're told not to. If they did, Allah will send that help. Because then we are awake and we are aware that we want to change this condition. When we're aware that we want to change it, we're asking Allah, Allah then will change the condition for us. We're still not aware. May Allah forgive me, inshallah. May Allah raise a station of our Shaykh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the intercession of the Prophet ﷺ, accept our weak service in these holy days and make us to be candidates of those ones who are fighting against Dajjal and Shaitan in these days. May Allah forgive all our wrongdoings, that what we have done, what we're doing, and what we're about to do. May Allah accept our sincere intentions. May Allah bring Mahdi alayhi salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala crush the enemies of Haqq. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us in dunya and akhirat. For the sake of Sahibul Saif, inshallah. May we always be under his feet, dunya and akhirat. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This much is enough, inshallah. Fatiha.